Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Smirking Reviews. This is Rob, and this is a little different uh, because a while ago I announced I was going to do Critical Role reactions, and I love Critical Role, and I do. I really, really do. But I got off track, and but we're back, and I don't know how many of these I'll actually do, but because of last night's episode, I have to say some things. Because last night's episode of Critical Role, Campaign 3, Episode 33, uh, some shit went down. Some real shit went down. And this is just my take on it. I'm not, when it says reaction, I don't do like regular reaction videos. I'm not going to stand there and show clips of myself watching it and going, but normally I would never want to do that. But from last night's video, I wish that I had. But I was in bed as things were going bad for the campaign. I had gotten bed and I was going to just go to bed and finish watching it in the morning like I usually do. I can usually last about 3/4 of the way through, maybe 2/3 of the way through an episode now because of work. Um, but last night I almost went to sleep, and then I didn't know if I was going to sleep for the rest of the night because last night, uh, well, as of right now, we are not entirely sure. I would say that Bell's Hells is still around, but not all of them. There is a chance, I think, that at least one character that fell last night and fell and permanently fell, possibly, probably, I don't know. That's the thing, is we don't know right now. Uh, Last night, Matt Mercer came to play, baby. And I joked on my Discord that as soon as he put on that vest, it was like advantage Matt. Matt really did come to play last night. He was playing one of the best games I've ever seen, and I'm new to D&D. I'm new to Critical Role. I've only been watching Critical Role for less than a year, and like a lot of things that I find that I really like, I dive in with both feet. I just dive right in. I have been loving every second of Critical Role. I've watched. I've not watched every episode. I've watched 60 plus episodes of Campaign 2. I'm all caught up on Campaign 3, and I've stopped in Vox Machina around episode 24 for reasons. I want to make some content for Campaign 1, but that's not what is important right now. I just want to give a little background to say that I do know about Critical Role, but I don't know if they've ever experienced anything like they experienced last night. Last night went sideways in ways that I didn't think possible. Um, I don't know how much sleep I got last night. So when I said I was gonna go to sleep, suddenly I was ready to call it quits, even though everything was going down. At the point that I said I was gonna go to sleep, I was already so upset that I thought I'll just find out how bad it is in the morning. But I just couldn't. I had to watch as a total party kill was literally on the table last night. It felt like it was happening in front of our eyes. That the entire Bell's Hells, right after they released this shirt, not too long after they released this shirt, we were looking at the end of Bell's Hells, and there's a lot of things. It got emotional in my Discord. It got real emotional in my Discord. I got pretty irritated in my Discord, to be honest with you, because there's things about fundamentally about D&D that I got to understand better, because I watch it as a game, and I'm liking to learning to understand the game a lot more, and how, if I ever want to play it, I would like to know how to play it, but I'm also story and character, and so I love watching this live performance, this story play out in front of me, as these people in character do what their characters would do, and it all depends on the role in the end. And last night, roles, a very key role, brought the entire campaign down to its knees, and that's nobody's fault. A role is a role. It's chaos. It's the universe. So as they Bell's Hells attempted to get Treshy out of his cell and bring him back to Lord Esteros, as chaotic as um, it seemed to be going pretty well. It was very exciting, and at first, I was kind of like, "Where's everybody? What is going on? Why is Laudna over here by herself?" And that's my fault. I worked all day, but I figured it out. I was like, "Okay, this is where everything is," because it really was chaos. There was no initiative. There was no, nobody. They weren't in open combat for the first part of this episode. It was just a middle of a sandstorm, tons of things going on, and it was exciting as hell. But and this is just me personally, but it just seemed like a little bit, because I don't want to question the motivations, or everything, but it seemed like right from the beginning that there was a little bit of disorganization. Um, and I mean, I don't know. Right from the get go, something felt off about this episode, and I think it started with Sam's cat thing, and how it just got really out of control, in the best possible way. But it felt like there were some real emotions happening there. And then they give Matt the vest, and Matt puts on that vest, and Matt went into, I don't know. He's always ready to play, but it just felt like, seriously, as a joke. I'm joking, but it really felt like Matt would have automatically got advantage on all his roles, because he was rolling it like a boss last night. Not just the fact that he was literally playing a huge level boss last night, one that just seemed like unstoppable, and was. They had no answers for last night's boss. They were already worn down. So when they finally get Treshy in the hole, get him out, open the big ass door, and roll out on their crawler, just when you thought everything was home free, everything came literally crashing and exploding down, as Odahan is in the middle of the road, and as the attack happened there against their crawler, there was a high roll that went, things were going to go one way or the other, damage wise on their crawler, damage wise on themselves, because they were up against somebody so high level that the roll failed. The whole crawler explodes, and from then on, it was just a massacre, slow and methodical, as Matt takes out Ashton right at the beginning. It was the omen. It was this is how it's going to be. Ashton went from having all his hit points, basically the majority of his hit points, to 0 and out in the first move by Odahan. This was a incredible move, but the thing was is that those rolls just were like just devastating. Even when he missed, it didn't matter, because the next roll was so high on this character. And immediately, and this is going to be, I think, a point of contention amongst everybody, is should they have just gone in and fought full tilt, or should they have really committed to getting the hell out of there? Because the run, it didn't feel like was completely committed to getting out of there. It felt like they were taking a swing, not putting in a lot of damage, and then trying to run. And even then, it just they even said at the break that they hadn't discussed anything at the break. They were like, "Oh, what did we even do on break?" It felt like they really just, like, again, like some of the best Critical Role, it was chaos, and they didn't have any answers. for anything that Matt did, really. And again, Matt was rolling brilliantly, but after Taliesin falls, and it's just one person after another falling, and them desperately trying to bring themselves back up just to be knocked down again. I said on my Discord that it felt like watching a Final Fantasy. Like if you've ever played like some of the older Final Fantasy games, and you're in a fight, and at one point you're gonna lose this fight, and you could just start over. Some of the older games you'd have to put in, restart a save, refind a save, whatever. But you usually you try to fight. You try so hard that maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that, maybe there's an outside chance that I could still win this thing somehow by the skin of my teeth. And that was kind of what it felt like last night. It was desperate, and everything was failing. And I mean, spoilers, guys, but Orem is killed. And everybody is shocked. They're like, again, they saw this. They should have seen this coming a mile away. That they were. I don't know. It's good storytelling, but the roles, the character, and everything. Like, I don't know really. In the end, at the time, I was like, they needed to run and fully run, like fully just get out of there. But I don't know. I don't know if that would have even worked. I don't think going at him full tilt in a fight worked either. I think that they were literally in a situation where it was just they were fucked. And it probably comes down to the decision to take Treshy out of there. Period. It was the plan that they had. It was a good plan. It was, as Taliesin was saying, we did what we had to do. Like it was we did it. And this is now the consequences of it all. So Orem falls, and that was bad enough. Because I've really grown to love Orem as a character, and it was heartbreaking because you had to think about all the things that that character's never going to get to do now. I love when we lost Mollymock in campaign 2. I thought that was like, huh, it was a Taliesin made a combat error, didn't realize how many hit points he had been using with his powers, and died of kind of an accidental, oh shit, I'm dead. It didn't feel, I mean, it was bad, it was a hit in the gut for the team at the time, and so much so that there's this kind of Mollymock haunting that campaign a little bit in a good way. Like the essence of Mollymock is always kind of there. But last night it was personal. Like the fight that was going on was a big epic thing about Imogen. And so Orem falling for something else just felt so wrong. And then one of my worst fears happened because I love this character. And this is all about, it's not about fair. It's the chaos of the whole thing. Doesn't matter what you want. It all depends on the rolls and your reaction to the rolls. And if those next rolls happen and blah, 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 domino effect. Fern Calloway, whether you love her or hate her, I love her, was killed last night too. Now, FCG has a way to bring people back, I believe. If I'm remembering correctly. They mention it, and for the life of me, because it's early here, I can't remember what the spell is called. But it might be moot. And then Laudna, she's down now too. But I don't think she's out. She's right there. And Odahan wants Imogen. And this is where it got really frustrating because I couldn't tell if I was seeing Laura just not know what to do or if this was like theater a little bit. I don't know. this is where I got to learn to, like, is this just D&D, or was this a little bit like, I don't know, character stuff? Like, was she so in character that she couldn't do what Odahan was asking? Didn't know what Odahan was asking? Because it was felt very dramatic. Like, I'm not going to let any more of my friends fall for nothing. I'm not going to join you. Let them die and then just join you. It felt a little like, come on, man, just give her what she wants. Otherwise, everyone's dead. We'll figure out how to save you later. That's in my head. Emotions were high, so I was angry a little bit. I was, because you're just seeing everybody drop. You're seeing a total party kill happen. It was going to happen. Laudna was not the last one that was going to go. They were all so beat up. I mean, Chetney had fallen and gotten back up. FCG's hiding. Talison's on his last legs. Or Ashton, I should say, whatever. And so when, at the end, when Laura's Imogen finally does what Odahan wanted, whether how far this was going to go on, if it was Odahan's decision, if it was Matt's decision, that she had finally done enough to stop this, or if it was just, or if Laura had finally figured it out. Everything swirls, buildings crumble, they're all flying around like in a whirlwind, and everything goes white as it explodes, and that's where they ended last night's episode. So we don't know. I mean, if they're coming back next week, which they would have to, right? Either way, to give everybody a farewell. And is this the end of campaign 3? I don't think so. But we're probably out at least 2 characters. There's a very, very high chance that Orem and Fern are both dead. For real. Like, and maybe they, like, to anybody that's a longtime D&D fans, you already know, like, this is it. They're done. Like I said, I don't know if SCG can bring back one, maybe one, or possibly both, if FCG is still standing. If FCG's hit points, I don't think were ever really affected in this game, except for the ones he was putting on himself. But I don't know how I slept last night. But I do know this, that my dream, I wondered if I was going to dream about Critical Role last night. And last night I dreamt that I was hanging out with the gang of Critical Role in a Panera Bread. Of all places, I was hanging out in a Panera Bread as we played Mega Man 2. Yeah, dreams, baby. And I got some revenge on working at Panera Bread a long time ago at the same time. So I know I had Critical Role on the brain last night. I know anybody that watched last night has it on the brain. And even though this was supposed to be just a quick video, and again, your standard reaction videos are people going, I talk through things, but all I know is that there was a really good chance that this shirt would be meaningless after last night's episode. So anyway, I had to get that off my chest. I had to say something about it because I didn't see anybody. I didn't see a live video. I was searching YouTube last night after it was over, after 1 a.m, to try to find somebody who was talking about this. And so, fuck it. I'm doing it. I did it. So anyway, let me know in the comment section what y'all thought about last night, because I'm going into this morning's day of work stressed the fuck out, because we have to wait till next Thursday to find out. And even Matt's goodbye was different. That vest, baby. Somebody's got to take that vest away from Matt already. I'm going to buy myself one because it was pretty badass. Anyway, if you're liking this, if you liked this, maybe you'll like more on my channel as I give a kind of no BS reaction and look at things. So anyway, have a good day, everybody. And I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.